Discover the 5 essential tips that will keep your homemaking on track during life's busiest moments. Oh, and stick around to the end because I have 2 bonus tips that will help simplify your homemaking routine during those times. Tip number 1. When life gets busy, be sure to prioritize and plan. It's not everything that you might be able to do, but that's okay. As long as you have your top 3 must-dos, your homemaking will fall in line. In order to achieve this, write down a to-do list with the 3 to 5 non-negotiable items that you must do every single day. Things from making your bed to wiping down your cabinets. Whatever is the most important for you to run your home efficiently. For example, I always gotta unload the dishwasher, do my swish and swipe, and make my bed every single day. You choose which are the most important for you. Focus on completing your biggies first, and then focus on the urgent tasks after that if there happens to be some time. Planning your days and weeks ahead of time can help you to stay organized and be sure that these tasks are getting complete during life's craziest moments. And even though we all have different responsibilities, sometimes in our lives tend to be more hectic than others. Therefore, when you plan your days and weeks ahead of time, you make sure you're allocating time for your homemaking as well as your other responsibilities. If you don't have a planner but you want a simple and effective way to do this, just grab a paper with your dates and responsibilities and be sure that you are keeping that paper somewhere that you will absolutely not lose it. But if you are in the market for a planner, I have one for $20 or less. I also have a productivity bundle. You can check all this out on my website or on Amazon.com. I will leave the links down below. But remember that just a sheet of paper will work. Literally anything works as long as you work it. Next, look for ways to simplify your routine. During a time like this, sometimes things can slip between the cracks, especially if they're super duper complicated. So be sure you are simplifying your routine to the best of your abilities. Strip it down to the bare bones during this time. Later on, as life eases back up again, you can go ahead and add some extra responsibilities. But in the meantime, be sure to simplify it as much as possible. And if you truly do have 1,000,001 things to do, like a lot of us do, then the next one is delegate responsibilities. If you are able to, please delegate some of your responsibilities to other members of your families or any of your social groups and even your very own children. In fact, I recommend it. The younger you start them, the better it is. And it is never too late to start. So even if you have teenagers, go ahead and get them involved now. It is a lesson that they will forever cherish, as they will use it forever and ever, and they will thank you for it. In the meantime, you can find ways to make it fun right now, such as playing some upbeat music or making a game out of it. Because you know, if it's fun, it'll always get done. In the event that you don't have anyone to delegate things to right now, be sure to simplify your routine, as I will cover in the end. It might also help if you practice minimalism, just as an added bonus, because the less things you have, the less things you have to manage. If you are interested in that, I do have a ton of videos about it, so I will not get too much into it then, but trust and believe, with all the things I used to have, if I could do it, anybody can do it. Next one is truly mind-blowing but super crucial. During times like this, be sure you are still making time for self-care, whether that means doing a mani-pedi, reading a book, or getting your hours outside. Be sure to get it done. Because when things are hectic, the last thing we want to do is take care of ourselves. When we don't, we're pouring from an empty cup. That is not possible. So be sure that you are taking time to prioritize self-care. I used to think this was super duper selfish, but it is not. The more we care for ourselves, the more for our cups, and the more of ourselves we can even give. Right now, if things are crazy and you cannot exactly make the time to paint your nails, then even just a short stroll outside will make a huge difference. Right now, my family and I are doing the 1,000-hour challenge, and during this full jam-packed time in our lives, it is a bit challenging, but that's why it's called a challenge. So be sure to get out there. If you want more information on that, I will link it down below. It is such a super duper fun thing that you can do with your family, and it is so exciting when you see those hours going up, up, up. Not to mention, it will qualify under the self-care category because it is so important to get outside and breathe some fresh air, look at nature, and all that great stuff. Not to mention, self-care can help rejuvenate your energy. So when it comes down to the homemaking, you have even more energy to get those things done during this jam-packed time in your life. Next up, be flexible and forgiving. Understand that not everything is going to work out as planned, especially during a time like this. So be sure that you are showing grace and mercy to yourself and understand that there are some things that are going to fall within the cracks. But that's why we have our priority list that we talked about earlier. Remember that perfection shouldn't ever be a goal because it is unattainable, but you should prioritize your mental health over having a spotless home. I know this isn't easy, believe me, even I fall into this trap today. But at the end of the day, if we are prioritizing a spotless home over our mental health and sanity, we will suffer for it in the end, or our families will suffer if we accidentally lash out at them, or if we just collapse from sheer exhaustion, God forbid. Just be sure you're prioritizing what truly matters, because if we neglect our loved ones in the name of homemaking, then are we really making our homes? Because anyone can clean and cook, but it's only a homemaker that can truly make a home. It is so much more than cleaning. Homemaking is way more than that. It is nurturing those in our homes, uplifting them, being kind, making the place that we live a home. So be sure to prioritize those in your home, people over projects. The floors can always get cleaned later, but we don't want to neglect our family over this, because at the end of the day, those are the memories they will carry in your hearts with you. Yes, it is important to have a beautiful and clean home, but more than that, it is important for us to put our families first and cherish them forever. So, as promised, here are some bonus ways that you can simplify your routine during this full time in your life. Use tools such as batch cooking and meal planning in order to simplify your homemaking. Take one day a week if you can, or just a couple of minutes to plan your meals. It doesn't even have to be anything extravagant. Just think back to what your family has been eating and use those as an examples of what you will cook in the next days to come. Take it a step further by using a couple of hours in a day to batch cook these things, or if you simply cannot, when you make dinner, make it a double dinner and freeze one so that you can have one for later. Another thing that you can do is meal prep. This is different than batch cooking because let's say that you take one day to chop your vegetables. Maybe you use another day to cook up your protein and keep it in the fridge so that when it is time to cook, you have most things ready, and it's all about putting it together. And I always am a true follower of meal planning because in general that just simplifies life. So why wouldn't you use it during a time like this? Next, you can create efficient cleaning routines. Be sure to develop a routine to make sure that everything that you need to get done is getting done on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. Sometimes we don't know how long these full seasons in our lives will last, so it's good to be prepared and find a way that you can keep this going, even if this short time turns out to be a long time. And at times like this, I am really grateful for the Fly Lady system because it has everything planned out for me, and I don't even need to think of what I need to do when again, because she lays out everything perfect and everything gets done. And if you want to know more about that, then check out this video here where I go into details all about it and what that entails, and it will super simplify your homemaking. And I'll see you there right now. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, to God be the glory. Bye.